Hello everyone, my name is Binara and today we'll be examining China's recent trade retaliations against Australia. This is a complex issue with far-reaching consequences. In this presentation, we'll be exploring the history, impact and potential resolutions of these trading actions, along with recommended courses of action for the Australian government. As China's economy expanded to become the world's manufacturing hub, a mutually beneficial and essential trade relationship developed between China and Australia. Australia plays a crucial role as a key supplier of iron ore, coal, and natural gas resources, vital to meeting China's growing energy needs and supporting its steel production. Over time, China has surpassed the United States and Japan to become Australia's largest trading partner, now accounting for nearly 40% of all natural resource exports. With China's rapidly growing economy, demand for premium Australian products such as beef and wine has surged. In the 2022 to 2023 financial year, Australia has achieved a record high export value of $80.4 billion in agricultural, fishery, and forestry products to China. Additionally, Chinese tourism has significantly contributed to Australia's economy, with approximately 800,000 Chinese tourists visiting Australia in the 2023 to 2024 financial year, generating $7.4 billion in spending. Given Australia's heavy reliance on China, any economic slowdown or decline in Chinese demand could have major repercussions for Australia's economy. The recent Chinese trade retaliations began with the COVID pandemic, which had a lasting effect on Australia's economy as it cost the Australian economy an estimated $9.6 billion and had a death toll of 9,859. Due to the devastating effect of the pandemic, the Prime Minister Scott Morrison called for an independent investigation into the origins of coronavirus. This call for a COVID inquiry caused significant outrage in the Chinese government and escalated political tensions between Australia and China, as Chinese state media called Australia, quote, gum stuck to the bottom of China's shoe, end quote. This led to the Chinese government imposing high tariffs on Australian products like wine, barley, beef and timber, and imposing an unofficial ban on coal, cotton and lobster. This incident severely damaged the relationship between China and Australia, and came with a wake-up call for Australia's over-reliance on trade with China. China's trade retaliation resulted in an estimated $31 billion loss in gross exports for Australia. The agricultural sector experienced varying impacts, while barley and cotton industries found a new market in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Industries reliant on premium products like beef, wine and lobster were significantly affected. These sectors struggled to find a new buyer, as 95% of rock lobsters and 30% of Australian wine were previously exported to China. Natural resource industries such as iron ore and liquefied natural gas were largely spared from retaliation, given Australia's status as the largest exporter for both to China. Although an unofficial ban on coal led to modest reduction in exports, the biggest challenge was the withdrawal of Australian banks and insurance companies from the coal sector, making it more difficult for the coal companies to secure financing and insurance. Since the election of Anthony Albanese as Prime Minister of Australia in 2022, political tensions between Australia and China have significantly eased. The relationship between the two nations is on a path to normalization under Prime Minister Albanese, with these bilateral meetings aimed at restoring trade. Following the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Chinese ambassador to Australia, Zhao Quan, declared 2022 as the, quote, year of stabilization, end quote, and affirmed that diplomatic relationships were, quote, back on the right track, end quote. Australia has seen an economic recovery as China has lifted trade and tariff bans on Australian agricultural and natural resource exports. This has enabled resumption of exports including beef and lobster as of December 2024. Australia should continue strengthening diplomatic ties with China while being strategic in addressing sensitive issues, as a misstep could lead to further retaliations. Both Australian government and businesses must reduce their heavy reliance on trade with China by diversifying economic partnerships and exploring new markets for Australian goods and services. Additionally, supporting impacted industries through financial subsidies for recovery and investing in developing of new domestic industries will help reduce reliance on exports to China in the long term. In conclusion, resolving the trade disputes between Australia and China is crucial for maintaining economic stability and fostering long-term diplomatic relations. While the recent easing of tensions is a positive step, Australia must take proactive measures to diversify its trade partnerships and reduce overall reliance on a single market. Strengthening diplomatic engagement and investing in alternative industries will help ensure resilience against future economic disruptions.